Alright, I am going to walk you through comparing properties of linear functions, right? Given algebra and a table. So two different ways to look at the same linear function. We're going to start on B. A's done. Be a good thing to look through, right? And if you read up here, right, it says the domain of each function is a set of all real numbers from 6 to 10. So both functions only go from 6 to 10. We've got a table for f of x, and g of x is given by this equation. So this table is f of x, and this equation is g of x, two different functions. Alright, so the initial value of f of x is the least input for both of them, and they tell you up here our domain is 6 to 10, so the least input is 6 for both. F of x from the table is really easy. F of x is, I just read the table over here and I get 36. And g of x is, well, we go g of x, right, is 5 times 6 plus 11, which gives me 41 if I do it that way. Alright. F of x is a linear equation, and its domain is a set of all real numbers from the low of 6 to 10. Its range is a set of real numbers from, well, my output for f of 6 to f of 10. So it looks like the output for f of 6, well, you know what, let's reverse that. F of 6. So from f of 6 I get 36, and from f of 10 right there I get 60. So the range output f of x is from 36 to 60. Alright, domain for the other one they told us already is also 6 to 10. Alright. So it's a domain of 6 to the domain of 10, and since we already know domain of 6, when I plug g in I get 41. Let's plug 10 in, right? So if I plug 10 into this equation I get 5 times 10 plus 11, which is 61. So the range for this one is from 41 to 61. How can you use a table of values to find the rate of change for a linear equation? Rate of change, well, we could choose 2 points, and find slope, right? That would tell us. Find the rate of change for this. Well, I'm going to do it. I'm going to use those 2 points. Slope is 1y, 29, minus another y of 22, right? y2 minus y1, over 1x minus the other x, which gives us 7 over 1. Slope 7. The rule for f of x in example B is f of x equals 6x. If the domain were extended to all real numbers, how would the slopes and y-intercepts of f of x and g of x compare? Well, that's a great question. 1b is up here, so the rule for f of x is 6, that works, right? So the other one was 5x plus 11, okay. Well, so if the domains were, how would the slopes and y-intercepts? Well, g of x, right, would have a higher y-intercept, right, because g of x has 11 and f of x has 0, and f of x has a higher slope. Let's see what's else. 284, and it looks like we're getting into graphs from descriptions. So we're going to pause here, and we've now gone through, I think, 3 pages. Talk to you soon.